Hello and welcome back to the Money Wisdom Question Series powered by Johnson Bernetti. I'm Jake Dozer, a certified financial planner and advisor here on the team in the state of Connecticut. And we're faced with our question today, which is how can I best understand my credit score? You know, sometimes people think, oh, I'm retired and I no longer need credit to facilitate my life. And I'm not suggesting that you should go on a borrowing spree in retirement, but rather recognize that a credit score is still relevant if you're in retirement because there will be times when you want to borrow money. For an example, sometimes interest rates are so low that borrowing, such as a car loan or a mortgage, is actually paying less interest than your investments could make. You know, for instance, if you can get a CD for 5%, a guaranteed rate of return, and you're borrowing money at 2 or 3%, you're actually making money on that borrow. Again, I'm not suggesting you do dangerous things, but I'm letting you know that debt is not carte blanche evil. And so understanding your credit score will allow you to take advantage of the most cost-effective methods to finance your lifestyle. So what are the things you need to be aware of with a credit score? Well, first and foremost, you should utilize a tool to help you keep track of it. You know, one of the things that you should be aware of is there are tools out there to check your credit report annually for free, freecreditreport.com, where you can check your credit report for free with each of the bureaus once per year. Another app that's commonly used is Credit Karma, an app you can get on your phone or on your computer where you can keep an idea, and they use a model so it's not perfect, but you can keep an idea of what is your credit score. Keeping on top of what credit impacts have been made recently is also helpful. You can do this through your credit card. A lot of times credit cards have a way to keep on top of your credit score. Or again, Credit Karma, where you get an alert that says, hey, there's been a change in your credit history. And maybe they're just showing you something like a recent payment that is cleared. But maybe they're showing you fraudulent credit activity on your credit report. Those are ways, some tools that are free that'll allow you to monitor those things most effectively. But when you're thinking about your credit score in of itself, you want to keep in mind there's a few things that impact it. The things that impact it are your credit utilization. How much of your credit are you using as a utilization? Each card can be utilized differently. Each loan can be utilized differently. For instance, maybe you have a credit card with a $20,000 credit limit. If you're using $10,000 of that $20,000 available balance, well, you're using a 50% utilization ratio. It's actually better to use a little bit of a few cards than a lot of one card. It looks like, hey, I'm using my credit limits appropriately versus maxing a card out. Another thing that's important to be aware of other than credit utilization is average length of credit. So maybe you're one who says, hey, I've applied for a few credit cards this year. Well, if you've gotten a few credit cards, now you've got a few cards that have a short length of use compared to maybe you only have 1 or 2 cards that you've had for a long time. Well, that'll look to the credit bureaus like you've got 5 cards in that example, 3 of which have been opened in the last year, and it's driving your average length of credit down, which is resulting in a negative credit score. So we've talked about credit utilization, we've talked about length of credit, also credit history from a perspective of payments on time. So you want to make sure that you're making all your payments on time. When your credit score is being reviewed, they're looking at how often do you make them on time, how often do you make late payments within 30 days late, within 60 days late, within 90 days late. Those things are monitored, and you want to make sure you're making your payments on time at all times if possible. And then finally, looking at the types of credit that you have. If you're someone who has never gotten a credit card but you only have a car loan, well, that's an installment loan, whereas a credit card is a revolving type of credit. Lenders want to see a variety of credit utilization. They want to see that you've been able to handle multiple types of credit at once and been able to keep a bunch of plates spinning, as it were. They're going to want to see that you have different types of credit. It's almost a diversified credit score. They want to be able to see that a borrower can't only make one payment on time, but multiple, those types of things. So don't neglect each detail of your credit score and use platforms like bankrate.com or investopedia.com to educate yourself on these and other things that can impact your credit score. I hope today's content has been helpful in understanding how our credit score plays into retirement and how we can control our credit score most effectively. Again, my name is Jake Dozer, a certified financial planner with Johnson Brunetti, and you've tuned into the Money Wisdom Question series. To see more content like this, be sure to like this page, subscribe, and share it with friends and family. We'll see you next time.